What do we do now?
So pause that. I mean, don't pause it. But, I'm going to go get the... I'm going to clean this up.
It's like we have a cool setup, but it's like...
It's so janky, but so good. We literally have like top of the line equipment in here.
14 tripods.
We got all this stuff. There's people that set up podcasts, and they're using like cell phones as like their mics and stuff.
Yeah, we didn't do none of that.
And here we are. We got like
straight to the
whole road set up here. We got Sonys everywhere. We got a GoPro running. We got fucking 1, 2, 3, 4 lights, sound deadening, all that shit. And here I am spilling coffee on the rug like a pleb.
We sure look good in here.
Yeah, 100% we look good. We look really good. This is ridiculous.
But anyways, we've been talking about doing this for a long time.
Yep.
We've had phone conversations while we're driving.
Yep.
And yeah, we're going to tell your story.
My story.
I think for people, we should probably start with introducing.
Oh yeah. So I'm Jose. I'm an entrepreneur, I think. I call myself the ADHDpreneur. That is my thing, because I am ADHD as all hell, and I forget things. I forget a lot of things. My brain doesn't work the same as everyone else's. My phone's making noise.
Yeah.
Let me put that on silent so I can get up out my face. Mark's trying to pay me. He wants to pay me for that file I sent him. I don't want no money.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, yeah, so I call myself the ADHDpreneur. My deal is I enjoy making businesses. I think it's cool as hell. I think it's like the coolest thing to come up with a cool idea or just a business of any kind. And I mean, I don't care what way it goes. I don't care what the business is. I don't care what industry it is. If I can get in and I can get in cheap, I'm doing it 100%.
So what's like a few examples?
So like
whether
right
they've
now,
lasted or not.
Yeah, so like right now I have R&R Pros going. That's where I disassemble cars for other businesses. So businesses like in the vinyl industry, it's a necessary evil. A lot of people don't know how to do it because they're coming from a background of graphic design. They're not coming from automotive. They're not, they're not turning wrenches and then one day decide like, oh, I'm going to wrap some cars. Most of them are coming out of school. They're coming out of the art institute with a degree, and they're like, hell, I'm gonna start printing on vinyl and putting it on cars and signs and stuff, So I come in because I have the knowledge. I mean, I've been working on cars since, I think I was like 15, 16, first time I picked up a wrench and tried anything. But I've been doing it for a long time. I have a lot of knowledge. The way my head works, I have very photographic memory, so like it works really well because I can take something apart and 3 weeks later or hopefully not 3 weeks, but days later when it's time to come back, I can remember exactly how it came off. And I also understand how things work because I take things apart for no reason. It doesn't have to be cars. I mean, I've taken things apart for years. But I'm just really good at understanding how things work, how they go together, and how they come apart. So it's something that I've kind of like fine-tuned, I guess you can say. And it works. It works really well. I have 23 clients now.
It's a lot.
At the start of the year, I had 16, I want to say. Going on 3 years in January. Yeah, it'd be 3 years. January 18th, I want to say, maybe 12th. I don't remember. So yeah, I got that going on.
Yeah.
I've got a drone company I've been trying to get off the ground forever. I just refuse to sit down and study for the Part 107. It's kind of a pain. I just really enjoy it though, I like flying drones. I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think getting cinematic photos out of a drone is super awesome. I think that's like the coolest thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I got that going on. JBMA was a big deal. JBMA was a trucking company that I started.
Yeah.
I talked to a friend of mine. He told me about it. He was moving for, I think, Ashley's Furniture or something. He was like renting box trucks and moving for Ashley's Furniture. So I was like, hell, I'll try it out. And he told me, everything I needed to get started, kind of gave me a basic rundown. And I was like, cool, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to find a way to do it cheaper. And I was able to it cost him probably $3 or $4 grand to get started. I was able to squeeze in for $1,632. Everything. That was like.
Yeah, what did that include?
That was everything. That was a DOT number. That, first of all, that was the LLC. That was the DOT number. That was the motor carrying authority. That was everything. All the legal documentation. That was a whole contract with JB Hunt. That got me into the Rooms to Go warehouse. That got me in a truck at a brand new 2022 Hino L6. And that put me like at the dock. And it was like over like 36 days. It went from like this, that'd be cool, to like, I'm literally loading my truck up. And it was cool. I ran Rooms to Go for a few months. There was decent money in it, but once you understand trucking, you start to realize like this is all a revenue game. This isn't a game of profits. Trucking is awesome if you want high revenue, if you want to prove to someone that you can make money. The problem is that there's no real profit in the game unless you really, really, really fine-tune everything, and that comes with time and experience. That's not something you can just hop in the game and like, oh hey, yeah, I'm gonna get started. Like, I can't tell you how many YouTube guys are up there saying, like, oh, I made $30,000 in my box truck, but they don't tell you that it cost them $27,000 to make that $30K.
Yeah.
And that's a big issue in that industry. And like when I got in, it was like right in the middle of COVID. I started JBMA in July of 2020, and it was just like there was just so much involved. Like it moved so quick, and there was just so much going on. There were so many moving parts and so many people. And then like as time went on, like rolling around at Rooms to Go, like all these other guys were coming in, and they were doing this whole. Like they were coming in off of YouTube and thinking it was cool and blah, blah, blah. And it puts a damper on guys like me, who actually want to get the stuff going and want to make something consistent, want to make something that actually works. A lot of the guys are just in it real fast for the quick money because they know they can take a load across the country for $1,400, $1,800, $2,200, $2,600, whatever
See
the
those
case may be.
short-term goals.
Yeah, so they're looking at it like, hell yeah, I made $2,600, but after diesel and all that, you really made $400 or $500. You see, and no one talks about that, and that's a major issue. So, at JBMA, man, and there was a bunch of different avenues I tried to run with JBMA. I tried to do like the whole consulting thing. Man, it's just there's so much information out there, and there's so many people that give the wrong information. So it's just like so hard to prove that you know what you're talking about. But people will listen either way, which is what's sketchy, because then it's like, man, I could really make some money off of this. But then it's like, is it worth it? Is it worth like the stigma or not the stigma, but like, is it worth like the bad karma?
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to give people bad information, but like, I could be straight robbing people for basic information they could Google in 2 seconds, and that's what a lot of these guys do, and it's just not something that I wanted to stick with over time.
Yeah.
I did I came out of box trucks. I went into Hot Shot. Hot Shot was cool. Low profits all day. And it was like right in the middle of this whole like fuel deal, Biden stepped in, and then the gas prices went up, and it was crazy. And diesel's $6-7, nationwide, and it's just like, bro, like, it used to cost me, like, for my auxiliary tank and my other tank, it would cost me $500, $600, $700 to fill up, whereas before it would cost me $300, $400, and then the rates drop, and that's like a major deal in trucking. I've never been in a business where you can't set your rates, like, you have no control over that. it's entirely up to the country and whatever brokers want to pay and whatever the case may be, because the second that you say, no, I don't want $1.50 a mile, hell no, they'll just hang up and answer the next guy, and the other guy will take it for $1.50. He might even take it for less, who knows? So that's like a major deal with trucking, man. And then the whole thing is dictated by your insurance and how well you can hold your insurance. And I had an issue with my insurance, and I ended up getting dropped by Progressive, which a lot of people do. I tried to roll into another company, and it just made it so complicated. I had to lapse the insurance, wait for the federal filing, and all this other trucking mumbo jumbo. And when it was all said and done, like, I ended up getting in an accident, like, unrelated to trucking. I was just going to fucking Walmart to get some milk.
Yeah.
And some lady didn't want to wait 8 more seconds for me to pass her, so I smashed into her back passenger door because she cut in front of me. I mean, my truck weighs like 16,000 pounds, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it was, 3,500?
Yeah, Ram 3,500.
Didn't her door get stuck in the front of the truck?
Dude, so yeah, her whole passenger door like shelled around the hood of my truck and was stuck. It went through it was like almost like it was welded. Like it was like friction welded onto the front. It was crazy, man. And in all the years and all the weird things that I've seen, I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, you weren't going like 100 miles an hour or nothing like that.
I was going the speed limit, man. I was doing 40, 42, I think. I think the limit was 45. Lucky for me, I had a dash cam that monitored everything. What did that do?
It turned off.
Why?
It died.
Battery's dead already?
It died.
Jesus Christ. Can we jump that off of a cable also?
Yeah. I mean, I can plug this one into it.
Yeah, we got that extension cord. Oh yeah, you could just power it with that guy. That's wild.
Oh wow.
It's already dead.
Yeah, this one doesn't really need it.
Oh, you just got battery like that? You just hot stuff?
Pretty much. I'm gonna pause this one.
Yeah.
That way it's not like a...
I'm just kind of ranting. Bingo, bango.
Go ahead and record.
Oh, yeah. It's 11:43.
What time do we have this till?
12:30.
Okay, sweet. So then back to this. We had a battery die.
Yes.
This is our first time.
They didn't need to know that. A good coffee there? You like that?
Sure is.
Sheesh.
It's a shame it's all gone now.
You poor thing. They got more out there.
Yeah, no, we're back into this.
We're in there.
We're
We have
toughing it
47
out.
minutes.
I can fake it.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir.
All right, so I know you touched on JBMA, on how you did that. But I think the more interesting part that I think other folks would like to hear is the ADHD.
ADHD.
Because I've noticed you will research something,
Yes.
you'll find something and think it's interesting, and then you will dedicate a large amount of time to research it deeply and almost become like
Hyperfixation.
a level 1 expert
Yeah.
before you
100%.
even do it.
Yeah.
And then you just jump in and then you're doing it.
Yeah,
and
I just
then,
jump in and do it and try it out.
Yeah.
And if it works, it works. And if it sucks, then oh well, I just keep moving. Yeah, I do that kind of thing. It's hyperfixation 100%. That's a very big side effect of ADHD. Some people like to argue that it's not, that it's the opposite. I don't believe that in any way, form, or fashion, because I will hyperfixate really hard, medicated or not. I will hyperfixate so hard. But it's super interesting to me, and that's the thing about it. Like, some people have hobbies. They like sports. They like to play sports, or they like to, play video games. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm about some video games myself. I literally have my Switch in my bag right there. But making businesses is super, super fun and entertaining to me. So it's like a hobby to me, But I look at everything from a profit standpoint, like, that's the whole deal about it, is that, like, the idea of like, wait, I can make money doing this is just so cool to me. And then being able to take something that I just like found on the internet, like browsing through TikTok, and somebody's like, oh, this would be a cool thing to do, or hey, this is what I do. And then like, yo, like that's actually pretty cool. I bet I could do that, like with what I already have. I wonder.
That's
so
crazy.
then I search, and then next thing you know, it's just like, I just spent the last 6 hours looking into like growing coral, like I literally spent like 2 weeks like tossing around the idea of growing coral because I had a conversation with someone and he told me how when he was in college, he would grow exotic coral, and he would buy coral from like the Bahamas from some like website, and he would get it and he would grow it, and he had to have like a feeder tank, and then he had the regular tank, and then there's like a drip or something. It's like a whole deal, but like it would take like 3-4 months, and then you have $50 worth of coral that turned into like $600 worth of coral. And I'm like, man, that's passive income right there. It's about as passive as it gets, I guess.
Growing money.
Yeah, like you can literally watch it grow, and that's cool. But, if I have the time, it's not even about the time. Even if I don't have the time, if I think that I can squeeze it into this fucking mess of my life, then I'm probably going to do it.
Yeah.
Like 100% probably.
Because even something we were talking about was your time management with your ADHD. Mm-hmm. Like where, like a small example that you told me was, you have to get up early and be at a certain place around 10.
Yep.
But you'll wake up at 8, mm-hmm. like you planned the day before, mm-hmm. and then you won't even start getting ready till like 9:30.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, well, I got to shower, I got to do this. Well, you should have already left.
Yeah, should have been out the door. You should have been in the parking lot already. You should have been trying to figure out where to park. And that's the thing about it, is that like, that's not like time consciousness. It's not a thing. Like they call it time blindness is what I think that's the term. But basically it's like, your normal average guy, he's going to wake up at 8 and he's going to say, cool, I got to hop in the shower, I got to get ready, I got to get this and that.
Yeah.
And if he finishes up early, cool, he might chill for 10, 15 minutes. Maybe he leaves early. Maybe he has to stop at the gas station or something. Who knows? But he's going to get there on time. But the thing that we don't separate that time, and that's a big issue, is that like all I'm looking at is I know it takes me 30 minutes to get there. I know I got to drive 30 minutes. That means I got to walk out of here by 9:30 at the latest. I'm probably going to walk out like 9:30, 9:35 or something, maybe if I'm lucky. But we don't break down those timelines. We're not breaking it down like that. Like someone thinks about it as like, I just got to get up, get showered, get dressed and go. For us, we're not thinking about that. We're thinking about, I got to wake up, get ready and go, and that's all just one big blur. All that matters is it's going to take me 30 minutes to get there. That's the only time thing that I'm worried about, is the 30 minutes it'll take me to get there. So that tells me I have until 9:30 to get up and get out. But really what the breakdown and like the real way to help, really, and this is like something I've been trying for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to comprehend it. Super easy to explain, super hard to understand, is understand, like, if I'm going to shower, that's going to take me like 15 minutes, right? 10 minutes maybe. If it's a quick one, maybe 5. I think I showered in 5 minutes. I set a timer today to like kick me out of the shower because I woke up a little late. But then I got to figure out how long it's going to take me to get dressed, right? And let's say, we'll make that 10 minutes, right? Even though it's probably not, we'll just call it 10 for the sake of math here. Mm-hmm. So that's 20 minutes there. I know that I have to physically walk downstairs, go to my garage, open the garage, start the car, pull the car out, maybe let it warm up a little bit, pull it out. That's another, we'll call that 10, right? And then I got to physically drive there. That's another 30. So now we're at an hour so far. Mm-hmm. And then once I get to the place, like here, like I got to park. Like, and no one, like, we don't think about that. We're not thinking about the fact that we have to find a parking spot and then physically walk into a building and then physically go up an elevator and all this and that, Mm-hmm. We're not thinking about that. We're just thinking of 30 minutes to get there. We're there. So we're already at an hour, and then you know, I still got to drive. I still got to get out of the car, find the parking spot first. That might take me 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. Park the car, get out of the car, walk inside, which is a whole nother 5 minutes or something, and then physically get to where I'm supposed to go. And if it's somewhere that I'm like, if it's a doctor's office, like a new doctor or something, you know, like I'm going in for a whatever. Like I recently had therapy recently because of that accident. You know, like when I was first going there, like it just gave me an address. I pull up and it's a 10-story building. Where the hell am I supposed to go? I got to go to suite 403. Like, where is that? 4th floor? Okay, cool. But where is 403? I get out of the elevator and it's just, you know, doors that are all labeled the same. I got to find this place, get in there, and then I still got to fill out paperwork. I got to do all that stuff.
And in the meantime, you're supposed to be there at 10.
Supposed to be there at 10.
And you left at 9:30.
It's probably 10:45 and I'm signing this paperwork for my 10 o'clock appointment. And that's the issue. There's a lot of that, man, and it like overwhelms. I wouldn't say overwhelms. It just takes up so much, and it puts me in a bad position a lot of times because then it makes me look like I'm lazy. And I'm very far from lazy. Like I'm super far from lazy because I don't know anyone else that works as much as me. But it's basically like I'm lazy, you know, because people look at it like, oh, this guy just gets here when he wants to. He doesn't care, you know. He doesn't have care in the world. He's going to show up here at 10:45 when he's supposed to be here at 10.
Yeah, and that was something I was thinking, like, to a person who doesn't know you or doesn't really get like adults with ADHD, like either they don't care about this subject because they're hyper focused on another one, or they just don't care.
Yeah, 100%.
But knowing you, it's either you're too focused on something else or your brain is just operating different.
Yep. Brain's everywhere, man, at all times. Like even sitting here, you know, like I just think of all these different things. Like there's so many different things that I'm thinking about or that I've been thinking about since we've been recording this, you know. New ideas, new things, and just new stuff, man. And that's a big issue. That's a real big issue.
Do you think it has an effect on being mentally present in a moment or a situation?
100%, man. It hurts a lot. It hurts a lot of not only the time issue. It hurts a lot of like emotional output and stuff. Like a lot of people look at me like I'm like uncompassionate or like I don't care about things. Like I get into this argument a lot with Jess, and the issue isn't that I'm not like emotionally available. It's just like that's not what I'm thinking about all day. And like that's like a good and bad thing for ADHDers also is the hyperfixation will kick you out to think about other things than the things you should be remembering. Like you know, like, oh hey, the kid's got a doctor's appointment today, you know, it's a big deal, whatever the case may be, right? Most people who are non-ADHD, they're gonna focus on that. That's gonna be like drilling them all day long. Like, oh my God, no, today's the day. We're gonna take him to the doctor, this and that, whatever the case may be. I don't even remember that we're going to the doctor today, right? And like not in a bad way, not like oh whatever, but like in the morning, okay, cool, I'll meet you at the doctor at whatever time, you know. But like, it's not stuck in my mental. It's not like a thing that's blocking up my day. I'm like my attitude isn't changed because I'm worried about my kid, you know. And it's not that I don't worry about my kid. It's just like it's not a thing that's in my head all day. So then I'll, you know, by the time I get up there, you know, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm here, and I'm perfectly fine. Meanwhile, you know, mom's having a freak out, you know. So it's good and bad, I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of just feel like I'm rambling there a little bit.
I mean,
but that's cool because you know why? Because this is the.
It's not even a real podcast.
I mean, but is it? It looks pretty real. Yeah, look at that.
Anyways,
I'm trying to remember to like, I don't know. Should my main focus be looking at you? Because I mean, this is a conversation at the end of the day. This isn't about like.
And even like I'm trying to go
about the media, but it is about the media.
Yeah, because I'm trying to basically recreate the phone conversations that we've had.
Yeah, for sure.
But they were good in the moment. But then now trying to recreate those, I'm like, What did was I just listening the whole time, or?
Yeah.
But then I'm also trying to think of like content at the same time.
Yeah. Well, this is content. It doesn't matter. Everything is content at all times. Everything. So let's hear about you, Mr. Working Man. Because we done touched on me a lot. That sounded wrong. We've spoke a lot about what I have going on. Let's hear about you, Mr. Man, and let's talk about it from the beginning to where we are now. Let's talk about,
or we could even go back to how we met, and I even worked for you for a while.
Yeah.
I don't remember. No, I do remember.
You remember when I hired you?
No.
Oh, I do. 100%. I remember everything about it. I remember what you were wearing that day. It's weird, right?
That is kind of weird.
Yeah. But it's not like some memory I have locked in my head. It's just the way my head works.
So I remember when we had first met, because you were selling Handicap Mafia stickers, and me and Eric were at the What the Fitment meet on whatever day it was, and then you showed up, and then I ended up like buying like 2 stickers off of you.
I used to sell the shit out of those stickers.
But I actually went as far as going to Kroger and getting cash back just so I could buy stickers. It was like 2 of them.
Yeah.
Because you had like 14 different colors.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yep.
But that was the first time I met you. I don't know when we actually...
Yeah. I started following you on Instagram. Because I thought you were Zach Triggs, and I had just met Zach Triggs a couple days prior, right? So I met Zach Triggs, and I opened up Instagram one day, and it was like it wasn't called People You May Know. It was like something like that, though. But like you popped up in there, and I was like, Zach, oh yeah, that's the guy. So then I just followed, thinking like, oh, it was Zach, no big deal. And I mean, this is probably 2, maybe even 3 months prior to me selling you a sticker. This is a while beforehand.
Yeah.
But I had just met Zach at an Arkham meet back in the day, and I thought I was adding him. I just saw Zach. I didn't know his last name. I just knew his name was Zach. So I saw you, kind of looked the same in your little profile picture thing. I think your account was private or something. I don't know. So I added you. No big deal. And then I started to realize, oh, this is not Zach. Because where's the Lexus? This is not him. This is someone else. Okay, cool. But it was cool, you know. Like that was when you had the Eclipse with the saw blades.
Yeah,
I remember that.
3rd gen Eclipse. And then I rattle can plastic dipped it.
Yep.
The whole thing.
Yep. And that was another. I think I messaged you about that. I think I talked to you about that. No, I didn't message you. I talked to you in person about that, about your rattle can jump, because that was right around the time I found out about plastic dip. And that was like by chance. I think I like went to Home Depot or something, and somebody had told me about it.
Yeah.
And I went out and bought a can, and I started spraying like random stuff. I was like doing my emblems, like, you know, the basic stuff that everyone does, the emblems and the wheels and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then
Chrome deletes.
Then I found out you could spray your whole car. And I was like, yo, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I sat down and I hyperfixated on dipyourcar.com, and I learned as much as I could.
But even then,
about plastic dip.
Plastic dip was meant for the handles on tools.
For tools. Yeah, it's been around since like the 50s or the 60s, I forget. I met Scott. Scott's the owner. I met Scott in Florida. And I talked to Scott. Scott's super cool. He's a super cool guy. Like, he's probably in his 60s right now. I don't know for sure. He's just a super funny guy. And I remember we went to Dave & Buster's, and we were talking about doing something after. And I was like, Scott, what do you want to do? He's like, man, I don't know, whatever you want to do. And I was like, yo, let's go hit the beach and get some bitches, Scott. And he was like, hell yeah.
What?
I was like, my guy. Scott's great, man. He's a super cool guy.
So anyways, I rattle canned my whole car.
You rattle canned your car.
It looked decent.
Yeah.
The hood.
It always looked decent.
The hood got a little fuzzy.
the hood.
I did the hood in the street in the dark.
That's what everyone says about Plastidip the first time they use it, because it was introduced as a DIY product. It wasn't introduced as like this professional, like it's not paint, you know? Like
No, but they didn't even...
It's like paint. You spray it on and you can take it off.
Right. But Dip Your Car wasn't around when I rattle can mine. There was no kits, no different. There were hardly any other colors. It was just black.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yep.
And majority of it was the cans that you open and then you dip your tools in and then you keep going.
Yep.
And they had barely just released spray cans.
Yep.
Yeah, I did my whole car and
Yeah, when I bought mine, it was all they had was black. There was no other real options. And that was right around the time. Dip Your Car had like 7 videos out at the time. Like 7 full car videos.
right.
Maybe more, I don't remember. But I remember seeing the yellow GTR, and I was like, they sprayed a GTR? What? Yeah, I need this. Yeah. And
But then how long of a, because I had the Eclipse for a while and then I traded the Eclipse for a Miata. Did Diptex come around then?
Diptex was around when you had the Eclipse still. Diptex, I opened Diptex December 12th, 2012.
And that was because of Plastidip.
That was because of Plastidip. I had got a hold of dipyourcar.com. I had found out they had an authorized installer program, and I was like, cool. There's no one in Texas doing this. I want to do it. What do I got to do? And they gave me a list. They said, you need this and this and this and that.
Yeah.
Basic stuff. Business name. You need an address. You need pictures of your work. They need to make sure that you know what you're doing before they try to back you and say that this is a cool guy to go to.
Yeah.
So I started practices. Me and 2 other guys, it was Mark and Luke, we decided to get together and do this thing or whatever. And I went out and I got a bunch of it. Well, I think I ordered a kit. No, I think Mark ordered his kit first. Somebody ordered their kit first. I don't remember, but it wasn't me. I was the last guy to get a kit. But they ordered their kits, and we sprayed a couple cars. We sprayed Killian's Miata.
Yep, I remember that.
We sprayed. I forgot there was another car. I forget whose it was. We sprayed like 2 cars or something. I found a shop space for rent not far from the house. I remember I was sitting in the kitchen with my mom.
So then where did y'all spray that first one?
Killian's? We sprayed it at Mark's house in his garage. That's where the Rita comes from. It's crazy because we still talk about that to this day. Like, to this day, I'll see Stuart and I'll be like, "Man, you could read a hoe?" And it's just funny. Like I was helping him with that Tesla not long ago. He had that Tesla he was PPFing, and I was helping him, unmask the hood piece. And he was like trying to like do one of these and like grab the spray. I was like, "Hey, you could read a hoe?" Because he couldn't reach the bottle. So I like went over and grabbed the bottle for him, and there you go. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check on that there.
Yeah, no.
But yeah,
Where were we? Diptex. So all 3 of you guys.
all 3 of us got together, decided to open Diptex. I'm the only one that took it serious. I looked at it as like, yo, this is self-employment. I was 21 at the time, 22 at the time, I think it was. Yeah, 2012. Yeah, it would have made me 22. So I was 22 at the time. I had never worked for myself. Other than when I dropped out of high school.
So where were you working then?
I was working at NTB. I was a full tech at NTB.
Everybody worked at NTB.
Yeah. I worked there when everybody worked there. Yeah. I worked there. Dustin worked there. Travis was there. Kevin wasn't there. He was about to be back there. I think he was at another location or something.
Yeah.
But he wasn't at our location. And Joseph was there too.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. It was
Everybody.
fun stuff. Yeah. Frankie was there too. It was crazy. But I was working at NTB. That's also where I met Paul, because Paul got hired. Literally, the day I got the keys to Diptex was the day Paul got hired. And I called my manager, my assistant manager, to let him know that I was coming in late because I had to go sign and get the keys.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be there at 9. I couldn't meet the lady till 9, so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be late. So I called in to let my assistant manager, Jeremy, know, hey, I'm going to be late. And he was like, oh, don't tell me. Tell your new boss. And I was like, what? All right. So I told him, and I was like, hey, man, yeah, I'm going to be late. And he was like, okay, cool. Come see me when you get here. And I was like, okay, sick. I wanted to get fired by this guy. He sounds like a douche. So yeah, I got hired, and I got hired. I got the keys, and I went to work, and I told the new boss guy that I was starting my own business, and he thought it was cool. We got pretty cool over the course of the next couple of weeks because I only worked there for like
Wait, so whenever you had to go see him, what happened?
Nothing. He just wanted to act like he was a big boss man. Yeah.
Huh.
Then
Just
I found out he was
leave you
into
with that little sentence to sit on.
pretty much. Then I found out he was into audio, which is cool because I was into audio, but I wasn't really into audio. It was just like subs are cool. So I had like 215 kickers in my Subaru.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I started, like, literally I got the keys to the place, and that night I had a job. I didn't even have the power on yet. I had a job in there. It was like a set of wheels or something I was doing. And I was charging like $60 for a full set of wheels, and I was charging like $500 or $550 or something for a full car.
Yeah, I remember that's why people would, a major reason why people were going in there.
Yeah.
Because
it was cheap.
You can color change your car without doing a vinyl wrap and without painting it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's temporary.
And there's no adhesives, there's no nothing. It should peel off provided you apply correctly.
Right.
And that's the problem. A lot of people don't apply correctly. I mean, you had the Eclipse, you know what it was like.
Oh, I didn't peel it.
Yeah. You wouldn't have been able to, I promise. But yeah. There was just a lot of stuff going on, man. And I got started with Diptex. That was cool. I had that going for a few. I quit my job about 3 months in. My business partners decided they didn't want to be around anymore. One of them did, and then I had this whole back and forth conversation. We decided to split it. He took off. I had the second one. He just disappeared, just straight disappeared. I got rid of them, and then I had an opportunity, like a big opportunity to upgrade from the 1,250 square foot I was in to a 5,000 square foot facility.
Well, first, I remember there was the first one that was in that little complex that was like in the middle.
Oh, yeah, and then I moved.
There was a middle one where we did a video because I was still doing.
Yeah, we did the Harlem Shake.
Yeah, so that was fun. We also did a interview video because I was doing videos back then of you and I forget who else was there, but we did a nice little like interview showcase video.
Yep. Like an intro.
Yeah, it's
intro
online.
to Diptex. Yeah,
it's definitely online.
Still out there if you Google hard enough.
And but then you moved to the back. A lot of stuff happened at that one in the back.
That back one was crazy.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was where the transition happened. That was when I got rid of the business partners. That was when I found out about putting pearls into Plasti Dip, and like that blew the whole game out of proportion. You know, like you went from having like 7 color options to like unlimited color options, and now we're like super competitive with anybody because with vinyl you go because of the colors. With Plasti Dip, like you were limited to like 7 colors, but once the pearls came in the game, then it's just ultimate customization because then there's no limit. You can do any color combination you want. You could put green pearls into blue and make something crazy, you know, whatever. And I went off my own there. There was a lot of drama, a lot of crap, a lot of stuff that happens when you're 23. You know?
I didn't realize you were 23 at the time.
Yeah.
But I was younger than that.
Yeah, I was 23. How old are you now?
30.
Yeah, you're old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
anyways,
I was 23, you were 21.
So then that back one is whenever we started hanging out more.
Yep. That was when we did the Miata.
Yep.
We did the Miata in that camo tan. We got all the license plates, chopped them up, put them on your trunk.
I don't know if I can say where I got them from. I mean, they weren't being used anymore.
You're not going to be sued anymore.
No, because I was working at CarMax at the time, and they got rid of all the license plates. I think they recycled them or something like that.
Yep.
And so
every dealer does that. It's not just CarMax.
I don't know if I asked if I could have them or not, but I acquired them.
But you took them.
I took them and did the little trunk thing, and then because I saw some guy do it on his Fender, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. But I'm not gonna copy him. But what's funny is whenever I did it, that guy still said I copied him. It's like, okay, cool. Well, whatever. But it was
like that.
It was a lot of fun. The Miata was a lot of fun. I was also drifting the Miata too.
Miata.
But yeah, that back shop was when we were hanging out a lot.
Yeah. And then I ended up hiring you. But I hired you when I moved to the big shop because I was still by myself.
Yeah.
I went up front. I picked up car audio at the time. You know, I had a conversation with Paul. He introduced me to Jake. And he said, oh, by the way, you sell audio now. And I was like, cool. All right. So then that opportunity popped up in the front, and I was like, man, that's a big jump. I think I was paying $650 or something for my back shop deal.
Yeah.
I went from $650 to $3,000. And the only real safety net that I had was the landlord gave me 1 free month to like figure it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, it's make or break. You know, we're going in. Screw it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even care. So I went in full tier, and I was like, screw it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then oh well. I just pack up and call it a day. I barely have anything anyway, you know?
And see, that attitude is nuts.
Yeah.
To any normal person.
Yep. 100%. Yeah.
We're like, if it doesn't work, okay, I'll just do something else.
I can't. I mean, all my friends at the time, you know, all the people my age that I was hanging out with, like none of them could fathom like what the hell I was doing. They didn't really understand it. They were more into partying and stuff. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy party every now and again, but
like go to your job, make your money, and on the weekends.
Yeah, that wasn't my prerogative. That wasn't like my deal. You know, I didn't want to. I mean, partying was cool, hanging out with people and meeting chicks and drinking beers. Like, I'm with it, you know, but like. That's not what I was thinking about when I was 23. I was thinking about how can I make this bigger?
Yeah.
And it was crazy because over the course of I had Diptex open for 5 years or something, maybe 6. I don't remember exactly because the dates kind of get screwy because it was a really bad mental time for me. So that little section of time there is a big blur.
Yeah.
But I was averaging like my best month at that back shop was like $3,600. Like gross.
Jeez.
Like not net, gross. Like that was how much I made. So like rolling into something that cost $3,000 a month, I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. But my first month, I think I did $1,800 gross, and I was like sick. That was my free month. And then the second month, I did like $12,000, and I was like, yo, I survived.
The bills are paid.
I did it. Cool. And then the next month I did like 14, and then it just started going up from there. I think my best month ever at Diptex was in October. It was October the second year, whatever year that was. So it wasn't the first year I was open. 2015 is when it was. 2015, October 2015, I did $87,000 in 1 month, and my overhead was somewhere in the neighborhood of like $21,000 with all my employees. I had like 5 employees at the time.
Yeah.
I had you, I had me, I had you, me, Paul, I had Jordan, and I think that's when I had that weird guy from Porter. What was his name? Justin, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that weirdo.
You also had that white guy, Eric. Oh,
yeah, Eric.
You also had Keith for a minute.
Yeah. I don't think Keith was there that month, but yeah. I want to say it was 5 employees I had at the time.
Yeah.
And I did like $87,000. It was crazy, especially like so late in the year. You know, like tax time was like go time. It was like February, March, April was always like booming.
Yeah.
Once May hit though, like that was that. It was done. Like
dry spell.
Going to the pits. Yeah, we're dropping down 24, 25,000. You know, and again, it's costing me 22,000 a month to operate. So there wasn't much profit in that, man. But overall, that time, combining all the numbers, I mean, gross, obviously, I don't know the net offhand, but as far as gross is concerned, man, I cleared like 3.2 mil in that time, you know? And like, I look back at it, like, dude, I was like 26, I think, when I shut it down, 27, I don't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
And like, that was that, dude. Like, I didn't have anything to prove it. Like, there was just so much wrong. So many things were weird. There was so much money missing, so many items missing, so just all the stuff that you like
The fundamentals
all the
of
stuff
having a business.
that could have went wrong, and it was entirely my fault at the end of the day. You know, like I don't put blame on other people because it's my fault for allowing them the power to do that to me. You know, and it is what it is, man. You know, I'm not gonna like break it down and screw this guy in particular. It is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, it's my fault. I shouldn't have given people the option or the power to do so. And if I wouldn't have, then I wouldn't have had any of those issues.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man. But anyway, forget about Diptex because we were talking about you, sir. Because
I was working at CarMax.
You're working at CarMax.
But I was also living at StatusWorks.
Living at StatusWorks.
And then I got fired from CarMax because I was late too many times.
Yep.
Their late was like 5 or 10 minutes.
Which is late.
Which is late, yes. So then they bumped me back to 11. They even asked me, I was like, would you rather come in at 11? Oh, that'd be great. And then...
You couldn't come in at 11.
No. And then they bumped it down to 12.
Yeah. You know why?
It was like 12 to 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I still couldn't make it.
Yep. You know why?
Why?
Time blindness, sir. ADHD trait.
Yeah. Anyways. So they fired me. They were real nice about it.
Yeah. They give you a severance package?
No.
They give you unemployment?
No. I didn't even think about it.
Eligible for
I was
rehire?
like 20 or 21. I don't know. I haven't checked. But I think it was like 20 or 21. And I think I was 20 because I was about to be 21. But I was living at StatusWorks. And then, dude, I don't even know what I did in the meantime. I know I had my last check I made last for a while because I had paid rent at StatusWorks, my part of the rent. And then with the last check, I made last for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think I was doing photo and video work on the side to like pay that next month.
Look at you go.
Crazy. And then because I had a girlfriend at the time we were staying with. And then we moved out of StatusWorks. That was a mess.
Yeah.
That was a mess.
Yeah. That whole thing was just a big.
It was fun.
Yeah. I bet it was super fun. I enjoyed going out there sometimes, but like I could not. Like that's just there's too many moving parts, man. There's way too much going on.
There was always somebody awake.
Yeah, always something going on. There's always like beer pong tables out. So, like, dude, super cool, super fun. Like, especially in your early 20s. Like, hell yeah, dude, fucking party house, dude. It's like the equivalent of a frat house to people that didn't go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I learned a lot. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But then
it's a good experience.
Yeah. And then I think we moved in with my mom. Yes, we moved out with my mom because they had clean pools for like 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you cleaning pools.
And then I think I quit cleaning pools to come work for you.
Mm-hmm. And I was paying you dirt. I think I was paying you like $250 a week or something.
Or
something really,
sometimes not at all.
Yeah, sometimes not at all because the horrible money management and horrible everything, like those I'm telling you, man, it's all big blurs sometimes.
Right.
Man.
And then but then if I wouldn't do anything, then like my role in the shop wouldn't be met.
Yeah.
So then it was more like if I keep doing this, then maybe I'll get paid. But if I don't do it, I definitely won't get paid.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it was well and some of it wasn't so well.
Yeah.
Like selling to customers?
Yeah. Not well at all.
Nope.
You're pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad at sales. You were really good at the vinyl stuff.
I was good at the vinyl stuff.
Got the plotter going, and that was cool.
That was a lot of fun.
The upside you had to all that, as weird as it sounds, there was an upside, was the fact that you kind of had creative freedom to do anything else you had wanted to do. Like that's how you got into No Vacancy.
Yeah. And it was also like, well, if you're not paying me, then like I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah. I feel that. You should. I mean, that's what I would have done.
But the downside was I cared a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I wasn't making anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I was like, oh no, here's the thing. I had bills, very light bills. I had like car insurance and then like a phone payment or my cut of the phone payment on my mom's plan. And then bills would come up and I would just come to you and be like, hey, I need like $300. And you would just, here.
Yep. There you go.
And that's really all, that's basically how it went for a while.
Yeah.
I remember, and then you hired a company to like do direct deposit and stuff and like take out taxes and stuff. And that happened for like a week. And then.
But dude, like that's the thing about it. Like coming from paying people cash to like rolling into a payroll, like I didn't think of how crazy that would be. Like that was when I had Carlos. I had Carlos up there. Carlos was, of every employee I ever had, Carlos was the highest paid. The most I've ever paid anyone.
Yeah.
And then when I found out with payroll, like it's not only that you guys are paying taxes, but I got to pay taxes too. So I'm taxed for the money when it leaves my account, and then you're taxed before it hits you. So if I was going to pay you, say $100, they're going to hit me for tax on it. So it'll be like 100 and we'll call it 115 for easy math, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know exact percentages, but they would charge me 115 and then they would hand it to you and you only get like $85, you know? It just made it way too complicated and I was not prepared for all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that got weird because then I think it came time, like the first payday, it didn't happen. It's like, hey, I didn't get any money.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I know. Communication was not really there.
It's not my strong suit at the time. It's really hard to translate that sometimes.
Yeah. So then I would just like, hey, my bill's coming up. Or like, hey, I need gas money.
Yep.
Or the fun conversation was, hey, what are we eating for lunch today?
Yeah.
On
a regular basis.
Every day.
Every day.
Who's going and what are we eating?
Not for sure that we had payroll. Not for sure that any other bill's getting paid, but we ate.
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
There was one time I went to Popeyes for everybody.
Yep.
But there was a fight, so I turned around and went somewhere else.
Nice.
I don't remember where I went.
There was a fight at Popeyes?
Yeah. It was on a Tuesday because it was like, you know, Tuesday.
Yeah, 2-piece Tuesday.
Piecing up Tuesday. Yeah, well, they were piecing up inside.
Ooh. Somebody got the other 2-piece.
Right, but it was on veterans, so it was, you know, kind of.
Yeah, let me get the 2-piece, and he gave him the 2-piece. I got you.
But then again, Dip Tex was great because if I didn't do my part, then we definitely weren't getting paid.
Yeah.
But then I also started doing some of my own stuff. I did a lot more video stuff. Mm-hmm. I did a lot more photo stuff. I even picked up some social media stuff. Mm-hmm. I also did stuff I didn't like doing the cold calls for emails.
Yeah.
I would like go into the office, turn all the lights off except for the lamp, really set the mood, shut the door, and then just power through.
Yeah.
And it was awful. I hated that.
The cold calls were never that great. There wasn't, it was a good lead service. Like, most of those were through Dip Your Car, and it was good because most of the people, they're going to dipyourcar.com to figure out, how to get something done to their car. So like, it's like, going to a car dealer, like the person's there to buy a car, dude. They're probably going to buy something.
Who knows how long that's been off?
Sick.
Because this doesn't tell you.
Oh, nice. Well, that's still going. So we got that at least.
Yeah.
We can kind of fill in. And we got the audio.
I think it was going for a while.
Yeah.
Man. We'll be fine.
We'll find out.
It doesn't beep or anything. That one's going strong.
Still going. Why doesn't it beep or anything? There's no like little red light that comes on?
No. Do you see anything?
No.
Are there any lights or anything around?
No.
Any red lights?
No lights. Are you recording or did you just turn it off?
No, it's recording.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's got a light on the backside.
That's good.
Oh, you know what?
Well, hopefully the part that it missed out on was more of you talking than me talking.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, at least we have your side of it.
But we do have, it is going right now. We're at like 40% battery.
Sweet.
And we are on a good subject because DipTex was pretty, we didn't have set hours.
Mm-hmm. It was just.
I think the shop would open.
You get there. 10 o'clock, 10 to 6 was the hours on the door.
Right, and that's what we were on paper paid for.
Yeah.
Sometimes the shop wouldn't open at 10. And then I think it's when you gave me a key.
Yeah.
Because I could
just started handing keys out because like
whoever gets there first
whoever
open
gets
up.
there opens up. Yeah.
Because we had too many customers waiting at 10 o'clock to drop off their vehicles.
Remember that one guy? The one guy that got crazy mad.
No.
So I forget the guy's name, man. Like if you look up DipTex on Google, there's a bad review. It's like the last bad review I got. I mean, there wasn't like a bunch of them. There's probably like 2 or 3. But the very last bad review I got was this guy. And he just showed up 10 o'clock on the dot. We weren't there, right? And I want to say we had like a late night. We probably rolled out of there like 4 or 5 in the morning or something weird.
Usual.
So this guy shows up 10 o'clock on the dot because he said he wanted to get his wheels done. We showed up like 10:15, 10:20 or something, or at least I showed up. Jordan had just pulled up. What time do we have this place still? 1 minute ago. So whatever.
Wow.
We'll just run it for a little bit more. We'll get like another 20 out of it or something. Jordan had just got there, and the guy was mad. He was like, oh, I've been here since 10 o'clock and nobody's been up here. You know, I called in and told you I was going to be here, da-da-da. And I was like, but you got to have an appointment. Like, we're appointment only. You don't just show up. We don't just drop what we're doing to work on your stuff. And no, that's not what you guy told me. He said that you told him. He said Zach specifically told him, oh, just show up and we'll knock him out. No big deal. And I was like, no way in hell he told you that, because we are appointment only, sir. No, I need it done right now. Well, sir, I got 3 cars in here, dude. There's nothing I can do. I'm not stopping everything to work on your stuff. I understand you're upset. I'm really sorry you weren't here at 10, man, but it is what it is. This dude got so mad, and then he got in his car, and he wrote a bad review, and then the second he posted it, he drove off. And then 1 year later, on the money, he must have got like a reminder on his phone or something. On the money, he commented on the review and said, these guys are probably still doing bad service, SMH.
Dang.
Like, on the money. But, yeah. It's fun stuff.
Remember that one time I almost got shot?
Yeah, good old Tony.
Yeah.
Mad that I towed his car.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a cluster, man. And, dude, like...
That was a fun night. I
swing by Ricky's shop sometimes, and I, like, look at the park. Dude, it is so much worse now. They have, like, a boxing gym over there.
What?
Yeah, like 2 doors down, like, right after Juan, there's a gym, like a boxing gym. They have a full ring set up.
Nice.
It's crazy, and it's like they're teaching kids how to box.
That's always good.
Yeah, it's a little crazy, man. It's a little ridiculous, but the parking is so much worse than it was when we were there. It's so bad now. It just doesn't make any sense to me how that's a functioning place. But yeah, the dudes would park in front of my stuff, and I tell them 1,000 times, please don't park there. I'm going to tow your car. Do not park there. That's my parking area. Yeah. This is for me. This is not for you. Mm-hmm. And they do it anyway. And I tried the stickers. That didn't work. I tried verbal warnings.
The stickers
that didn't
were great.
Work.
How that one went.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
Internal temp high.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. I think
we should just call it at this point.
I think that's a good place to call it. I feel like near the end we got a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
And, we need to tell the almost getting shot by Tony.
Yeah.
It was really close.
Almost getting shot by Tony story.
Yeah. Like I was going to fight him, and he had a gun. Mm-hmm. And I was still going to fight him.
We were going to unload on him, dude.
Oh, yeah. You guys had pieces and stuff.
So I had my 40 on me. Hippo grabbed my SKS off the wall.
Yeah.
Joey had his. He had like a Glock 9 or something on him.
Yeah.
Paul didn't have anything. Jordan he had like a little 22 or something he'd carry in his pocket, which is crazy.
And then Tony had a friend.
The biggest guy, and he had the tiniest little gun. But
Tony had a friend, and you could see that Tony's friend had one.
Yeah.
And then Tony had one.
Yeah.
I was the only one without one.
Yeah, and Paul was sitting by the door, and he was gonna jump up and grab his pistol, like just jump up and pull it out of his pants, like because it was hanging right at the back. He was just gonna jump up and grab it.
Yeah.
And just be like, "What's up?" And then here comes Captain Zach,
just yelling at this guy, getting in his face.
"What's up, man? Come on, dude. What's up, Tony?
I don't remember what I said.
I'll take you on, buddy."
I don't remember what I said.
I don't remember what you said either. But it was very
loud.
very loud, very like, "Come on, man, what's up? Let's go outside. Come on, let's go."
Yeah. I knew the cops were coming.
Yeah, we knew the cops were coming, so there was that was going on. And like the dude was like crazy drunk, like retardedly drunk, which made it even better. Dude, and it was like the day before Christmas Eve.
Oh, yeah, it was in the
'cause
holidays.
he spent Christmas in jail. And
Yes.
Then, and then he called me and apologized after and wanted me to drop the charges.
Oh, yeah, no.
He called me to ask me to drop the charges, and to be honest, like I didn't pursue it any further because I didn't want to go to court and all that crap, dude. Like it wasn't that important. He understood what happened. I never had a parking problem again. Like that whole issue got done with. But like when it was all said and done, like I mean, I don't even think he was there much longer. I want to say he got kicked out over that incident. But he was only there for like another month or two.
I remember he did get kicked out because we had like a sign of relief or whatever the term is.
Yeah, I had to get a police report filed, and then I just showed that to the landlord, and it was like, "Here you go," and they kicked him.
But yeah, we went outside.
Still there for a few weeks.
Yeah, we went outside about to swing, and then that cop pulled in hot.
Yep.
Like almost ran him over.
Hot to trot.
And then as soon as the cops showed up,
pulled up right behind him, grabbed him, threw him on the hood. Mm-hmm. "Oh, what you got there? A pistol? Ooh, and you're drunk? Oh, this is great. Mm-hmm. On Christmas, too."
Oh, yeah.
Arrest his ass. It was pretty funny. It was like a movie.
Well, anyways, sending this out, we know we learned a lot today.
Yeah.
We definitely learned a lot today.
We learned. There's probably some good chunks.
We're a few minutes over. Oh, there's
pieces here.
Great chunks in there.
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
We can chunk it up. But you let me ramble on Diptex too long. You gotta stop letting me ramble. You gotta shut me up.
But see,
because ADHD, bro.
But I'm usually behind the camera.
Yeah,
I'm usually the producer, getting people to produce the content.
Well, now you're in front.
And now
so you have to get used to it.
We got to get another camera.
You were in front. Yeah, we need another camera.
Yeah.
I mean that thing works, but like.
But also, this one was going for like 20 minutes in 4K, and it probably just didn't want to do it anymore. So it just kind of.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you know what I just thought about?
Yeah.
I think I was supposed to press record on here. Oh no, that's for the backup. It caught the audio either way.
Yeah.
But I can do a backup recording on here, and then forgot we were supposed to press record.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I'm usually behind, so then getting other people to talk and trying to give interviewee
really
questions.
Yeah, you're really good at that. At the quick little responses and the questioning questions. And, tell us more.
Thoughts for your thoughts.
Very well.
Anyways, so then finishing this off, the first episode, we're an hour and 20 into this.
Yeah.
We did have some technical difficulties.
Yeah, and it's not going to be an hour and 20 on the back end because we're cutting out a few things.
And there was a good 15, 20 minutes of trying to get that. I got a late bill. They calling me.
I feel you. I know that feel. But we're in there.
But yeah, do we have an outro? We need a theme song. We need a kind of an outro. Like
what if we play like that CSI Miami type thing? No, I'm talking like the and then like sunglasses on, you know.
Yeah,
in your case, regular glasses on.
Well, I have my magnet ones.
That Horatio Kane.
Yeah, I could throw my shades
say something
on.
Quirky.
Yeah, you're the only one with a working.
I got nothing quirky, man.
This might turn into something.
It might.
Most podcasts don't make it past 20 episodes.
Yeah.
But
we might make it past the first one. Yeah.
Indeed.
.com.
Yeah. So thanks for, I don't know, say thank you for.
Hey,
whatever.
thanks for listening there. I keep looking over here because the screen's over here,
Yeah, you gotta look
but
in
the
the-
camera's right there. But my instinct tells me to look there. That's why when I use that camera, I always fold the lens up behind because I end up looking at the screen instead of
Yeah.
the lens. So I have to remember to look at the lens. So I'm looking at you now, America, or whatever country you're in that's watching this. So yeah, thanks for checking us out. We are definitely planning to do more of this, depending on how this all worked out. Which, I mean, to me, it worked out fine. I don't know. You
Because
think
we
it
got
worked out fine?
we got a great setup. We look really good.
Yeah, we look really good. Like you wouldn't know that this is like some crazy thing that we just slapped together in 30
The day
minutes.
before.
Yeah, literally. We decided to do this yesterday. It was like, oh, hey, wait, by the way, we can kind of just set up right there tomorrow. Let's just do that, and that's what we did. So it's cool. Thanks for checking us out. If you did check us out, if you didn't, then you wouldn't hear this anyway. So
Right.
whatever.
I mean, where we talk about car stuff, we talk about
We
business
talk about car
stuff.
We're going to talk about a lot of business stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of the idea we had about this, which we didn't even touch on, even though we talked about this morning, touching on it, was
Yeah.
the fact of we're like middle of the road here. You know, this isn't like the end all be all. We haven't done it and seen it all. You know, we're still on the path. We're still on the route to get to where we want to be.
Early entrepreneurship.
Early to.
Well,
I mean,
I'm early.
I'm middle of the road here. I've had my fails and
Yeah.
I've had a bunch of fails. I've had a bunch of goods. I've had a bunch of in betweens. So we're right in the middle. Or at least I'm right in the middle. Zach's catching up fast.
Yeah, I quit my job.
We got to get
this
more on
year.
your story here because we
Yeah.
didn't do a lot of your stuff because you let me ramble too much. I ramble a lot because I have ADHD. So I'm sure you do too because that's why you listen, or I'm assuming that's why you listen. You can check out our social medias.
Yeah.
Should we insert some of those? Is that like something that we
can-
should just like put
Can
in the
do
thing?
graphics later
Yeah,
on.
we can do graphics. Yeah, for the video, but I meant like, what if we actually use this?
Oh, yeah, people are
for
probably
podcast
listening to this.
audio? Yeah, 100%. So you can follow me at ADHDpreneur
And
on Instagram
yeah,
and TikTok.
yeah,
I haven't posted anything yet, but I will. I promise.
yeah.
Zach, you are at
Z_K_ on Instagram.
Instagram.
And I think it's on TikTok too.
TikTok possibly. Yeah.
I think I was smart enough to do that.
If you get on my ADHDpreneur page, you will find a link in my bio that will lead you to a list of all of my other social medias for all of my other businesses. Everybody gets their own. I have my own TikToks, my own. Speaking, I got to show you that TikTok video I put together.
Yeah, I sent you some too.
All of my businesses have social medias. They all have Instagrams. They all have TikToks, things of that nature. I haven't been the best at posting yet, but I'm in the process. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this whole thing. We're kicking this off. 2023 is 3 days away, I
Yep.
think. 4 days. I don't remember. But we're going to do it. We're going to do this damn thing. We're going to do it, and we're going to do it hard.
Yeah.
We're going to do it so hard. So hard. So, yeah, keep up with us, man. Follow us. Check us
See where
out.
it goes.
We'll
Car
see where it
stuff,
goes.
business stuff.
Maybe this turns into
ADHD
something. Maybe
stuff.
it doesn't. But either way, we're here. We're here. We're documenting. We're doing it. We're all about it. And that's what I got. That's what I got. The next time here, or the next one we do, we're going to focus on you and what you got going on because people need to know what you're about.
Yeah, it's fairly
This
recent.
was more like an intro for me than
Yeah.
it was for you.
That's cool. Leave them guessing.
Yeah. Somebody's calling me.
Oh,
Oh, there's Nate. Nate'd be a good guy. Nate just opened up a smoke shop.
yeah,
So he'll probably be like episode 3 or 4 or something.
yeah. Middle of the road. Orange Cup podcast.
Orange Cup podcast. I put way too much of that stuff in there. It's like all this chunky stuff at the bottom.
But yeah,
Podcast, not a podcast. Yeah. The end.
the end.
Yay! Killing mics. Killing.
Don't forget
Killity
this.
kill. Don't forget the mics. Now we have to unset up our setup
Oh,
for the setups.
definitely comfier headphones will be needed.
That wouldn't be a bad idea though. So like, provided this is obviously something that's going to continue, because I don't see why it shouldn't.
Right.
We need to make it. I mean, this was mostly about what I have going on.
Yeah.
The next one needs to be about what you have going
Yeah,
on.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense for it to be both of us squeezed into one. We might as well tell our whole fucking story
Right.
from the jump or whatever.
Yeah.